My kids keep trying to get me to buy these scary little baby demon monkey things, so I had to look into it. Now, I'm not one of those parents that thought Pikachu was Satan or Harry Potter was evil, or you don't let your kids play Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. I'm not that kind of guy. But when I kept hearing about this Labubu craze, I realized I had to look into it because people kept saying it was Chinese, and China is what I cover. So I started digging. Turns out I found this demon baby is kind of screwed in China, but more on that later. Because of course, Labubus were screwed to begin with, considering that any toy in China is gonna be subject to the worst possible knockoffs of all time. I mean, they're not even trying with these, are they? Labub? Labub? The Consumer Safety Alert Board in America that tells you when products are dangerous, they even issued a warning because of the dangers involved with these knockoffs. I guess they call them lafufus. Anyway, they got off pretty lightly with the knockoffs, in my opinion, because they did Thomas dirty. Don't forget about Sonic, or Obama, or Harry Potter. I couldn't even tell you who should be offended in this scenario. Anyway, China is touting this Labubu thing as a massive soft power victory over the West. Look at us, people love our stuff. We are now soft power juggernauts like Korea and Japan. K-pop demon hunters? Nah, we got demon babies and the whole world is going nuts for them. These things are sold in something called blind boxes, which basically means a customer goes to this Hong Kong-based shop called Pop Mart and gambles by buying one of these boxes, not knowing what's inside, in hopes that they get a rare one. And man, do these Labubus get rare. These things are going for serious money. Statues of them went for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, what the hell is actually going on? To be fair, in regards to the actual Labubu toys, it's artificial scarcity that's making this a Beanie Baby-like craze. And let's not forget how ridiculous that was. When Beanie Babies were trading for thousands of bucks because they had some weird defect on them, that was nuts. But anyway, you know what? I gotta say it. Labubu is brain rot IRL. You know those trash short form videos that you see that literally waste hours of your time melting your brain? This is like literally gambling brain rot. But you know what? People like it, so whatever. I'm not here to judge. I wanted to start digging. The funny thing is, China's claiming this is a massive soft power victory, like it's the thing that's gonna open the gateways of people taking China seriously. I've made the argument in the past that China is not cool. I think it's a cool country. I lived there for a decade. I freaking love China. I think it's awesome, but I don't think their cultural exports have ever been considered cool in the West. So this is kind of the first time that that's happened. But the funny thing is that the dude who made Labubu is actually a Hong Kong born, so back when it was part of the United Kingdom, the UK, a Hong Kong born Dutch dude from the Netherlands who invented it in Taiwan based on Northern European mythology. I mean, I can't even think of something less Chinese even if I tried. Yet again, China tries to claim something they didn't even make or even have anything to do with.
Have you guys ever heard of something called a data broker? Well, if not, let me tell you what they are. They are people that sit in office cubicles, collecting every little piece of information about you, like your name, your address, your phone number, what you shop for, everything that you probably don't want the world to have. They have, and then they sell it on the open market so that people can target you with spam, junk mail, all that stuff that really pisses you off. That's how they get their information. It's from these data brokers, and that's why I absolutely love Incogni. Incogni goes out there and does the dirty work for you. They contact all these data brokers and say, you better stop right now.
One of my favorite new things is that Incogni's offering a unlimited and family unlimited plan. You're gonna get an extra level of protection. With Incogni's custom removals feature in the unlimited plan and family unlimited plan, you can point to any people search site or any other website where your personal information is visible, and one of their privacy agents will take care of the rest for you. Literally, find anything you want about yourself online, point Incogni to it, and they'll get rid of it. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Go to incogni.com/cmilk and use the code CMILK to get 60% off. Thanks. Anyway, I find it poetic that China's trying its soft power hand right now when it's failing so hard. And I'm not talking about Labubus, those are successful. I'm talking about China as a country is absolutely tanking. You see, what China's trying to do is they're trying to cash in on the amazing, well-deserved reputation that countries like Korea and Japan have made through decades of hard work. with the pursuit of democracy and quality and polite society. Korea and Japan are safe, free, quiet, polite, and democratic nations that deserve their reputation. Both score very well on the Freedom House Index, while China does not. China is now an authoritarian, dangerous, lawless, scary country that is trying to pretend that it's both of those two guys, Korea and Japan, and they're hoping that people buy it. The irony is rich, though. Let's use the Labubu situation as symbolism. In America, your Labubu can sit on a shelf, maybe right next to a meme poster of Winnie the Pooh. No one cares, and you can laugh about it. You can post about it online. In China, that's illegal. Winnie the Pooh memes are banned, as you all know, because they look too much like the leader, Xi Jinping. But it's not just that. You can't even talk about Xi Jinping online unless you are stroking his ego. You cannot make any references to the leader, and you will get disappeared, and I'm not joking, when you talk about him. Imagine getting censored or even arrested for comparing your dictator to a cartoon bear. In America, your Labubu sits in a room full of clean, breathable air. America's air, it's pretty nice, let's be honest. In China, it would be suffocating under layers of smog. Tons of cities, especially in the north of China, but really everywhere, have days where it's literally hazardous to be outside, or actually hazardous to be at home unless you have an industrial-grade air purifier. People can't see the sky. Children can't play outside. You know how we have snow days? China's got smog days. And guess what? They don't really, because people can't even talk about the smog. The government manipulates pollution data to seem better than it actually is. They do that with the temperature as well. There's some sort of law that says if the temperature's over a certain degree, you don't have to go to work. They always make sure that it's under that threshold. In America, you can criticize your president openly. You could even use your Labubu to mock your president if you really wanted to.
I'm the owner of the one and only Donald Trump Labubu. I actually paid $1 million for this.
In China, if you so much as ask a question about your leader, about your government, you can vanish. Just ask tennis star Peng Shuai, who accused a top CCP official of assault and then disappeared, only to be dragged out forcibly with a creepy smile. And now, no one knows where she is. What's worse is in China, Labubu may get run over like the hundreds of people who have been murdered recently in China's new vehicular manslaughter epidemic, which sees Chinese people losing their minds and hitting people in the streets like bowling pins. I'm not kidding. It's an epidemic. It's happening all the time. A guy in Zhuhai ran over 70 people, killing 35. And China's response was to destroy the flowers laid for the victims, chase away anyone who tried to pay respects, harass journalists that tried to cover the story, and then delete all social media and arrest those who tried to tell the story of what happened. It's insane. According to China's leadership, China is a socialist utopia. Bad things don't happen there. The Chinese people are content. The state propaganda's organs insist as they feed the public good news and suppress discussion of the country's many economic and social problems. The result is a surreal environment where public discourse is ever more detached from everyday life. And the government is ever less responsive to the concerns and difficulties of its people. That's from an excellent article by Michael Schumann for The Atlantic. By the way, his apartment was raided by police in Beijing 4 times this month. They already have all the information that they asked him for, so it was simply to intimidate him and other journalists. How about this? Your Labubu in America can ride along in your car safely, but in China, it passes checkpoints, facial recognition scanners, and constant surveillance cameras. Remember, China has one of the most intrusive surveillance states in the world, which is weird because they're having such a bad crime epidemic. Labubu would be tracked, just like every other citizen is. In America, you collect Labubu because you like it. In China, Pop Mart's blind box craze is engineered by the state to keep young people distracted. In fact, I've seen this very thing with the promotion of content online of people living in internet cafes and glorifying a lazy life because then they don't have to deal with the problems of unemployment. But then, when China realizes that this becomes a societal ill, they just ban it. In fact, they've been cracking down on blind boxes. Instead of thinking about unemployment, skyrocketing housing costs, or corruption, young people are encouraged to spend what little money they have on overpriced plastic toys and internet games. And then they're forced to stop when the state thinks it's bad. For real though, the unemployment crisis is out of control in China. Homelessness has become a massive epidemic, and there have been countless factory sabotages, like tons of factories just this year being set on fire because the bosses of the Chinese government-run companies won't even pay their workers. Even when the workers threaten the worst possible outcome, they don't care. When it becomes so bad that the Chinese Communist Party officials have to review the complaints, they literally get ripped up. This is real footage. You see, I don't really have an issue with Labubu. I have an issue with the Chinese government trying to whitewash its reputation abroad right now, while it gets worse and worse for Chinese people every single day. I have an issue with China trying to conflate the actions and altruism possessed by our allies in Asia with its own reputation, while it genocides its minorities and hacks American infrastructure. I really have an issue with the Chinese government and the threat that it poses to not only the USA, but the entire world. China is a massive problem, the biggest problem. And it seems like recently, people are starting to forget that. If you like this show, you're gonna love my secret show. That's called Xiaban Ho. It's a patron-only show on patreon.com/ADV podcast, where I do massive exposés and cover stuff that we can't normally cover on YouTube. Just the other day, my friend and I on our secret show covered the massive threat of China's AI. It's absolutely insane. The virtual boyfriend and girlfriend situation in China is out of control, and we had so much fun covering it, but we also were very, very scared of the potential future that China has. We're also very, very scared of the potential future that China is trying to export to the rest of the world. Consider checking it out there, and go check out our Friday show, The China Show. That's our China news show, where we cover all the recent events that have been happening in China. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.